Hi, I'm Wally from Team Extreme Adventure, and this morning I am in Frankfurt where we're competing on a 24-hour full moon adventure race. We have got a passion for the sport, we love adventure racing, and I thought that I'll do a YouTube video on how to do navigation or map work. I believe that the unknown of doing tracking or mapping or navigation, as people call it, is one of the obstacles why people don't compete in the sport. So I thought I'll do these YouTube videos to remove one of these hurdles so that we can get more people exposed to enjoying and love the sport of adventure racing. So I think the first and starting principle is first of all having the right mindset. Trying to pull away from a stop street with your car in fifth gear versus your car in first gear is two completely different approaches. So if you don't believe that navigation and map work is easy, it's like starting in fifth gear. It's not going to happen. So you have to condition your mindset to believe that it's doable, it's easy, and it's easy to understand, because really it is. And once you've got the right mindset, then we're ready to embark on this journey on teaching you how to navigate with your adventure races. So now that you've got your mind in first gear, let me start by showing you a typical map and how that's laid out, and mapping out your route, and then after that I'll do an introduction to using your map board on your bicycle, and how to use that as an effective tool for your navigation during your adventure race. So let's start embarking on this journey, and we'll start with the map work. So looking at our map boards, a map board is a fixture that is mounted on your bike handle. And the map board is designed in such a way that it clears all your equipment, so your light and everything else is easily accessible. The board can rotate 360 degrees, and it can move at various angles. And the reason for your map board is that you want to be able to hold on to your bike and still at the same time navigate without losing too much time. So the way that I set up my map board typically is you would decide on how you position your map. So the top of your map is usually north. You can see for the purposes of this video, I'm just drawing a big north. I'm showing to my right. And once you've got your coordination of your map set out on the map board, what I then do is the compass usually has a rear shadow, an imprint that you can put. So I fix my compass to my board with just a wing nut, and then I align my compass north to my map board north. And then doing our race is extremely easy, because then all I need to focus on is to line up the map imprint from north to the needle. So there you can see, and the two norths are now aligned. So now I know if I, for instance, do this route, that it is straight ahead. And while I am traveling on this route, by the point I get here, I then need to turn right. So once, let's say for instance, we have now turned and we've turned right. So now, if I need to then coordinate my board again, I will turn it right. And you can see now my wheel is lined up again on the route that I need to follow. And that really extremely simplifies your navigation and map work while you're doing your mountain bike. And that is how easy and simple it is to work with a map board while you're doing your bike leg and doing navigation with your adventure race. And it really just simplifies it, because you don't have to hold your compass in your hand and try and figure out north and try and figure out what's happening here. These specific maps, there's some other tricks as well, which I've showed you in the map work. So 1 in 50,000 scale map, with the thumb is a kilometer. You see that I've marked all these out. And as I'm doing the route, I will then have a typical pre-marked distances. So I'll have the kilometer 42, 43, 44. But as we're doing the physical race, I then just take a marking pen, and you can see that marking pen is attached to the board, so I can physically do this with my hand. While I'm holding onto the handlebars and writing, I pop it out, do the actual kilometers versus the planned kilometers, pop it back in, slot it in, and I continue with my race. So that's just the way that I do my navigation, and it works extremely well. Very simple to do, and it simplifies the navigation and map. So starting with your map work and planning your navigation, there's a few basic information pieces that you get to do your navigation planning. It's still early morning, it's 6 o'clock, and behind me you can see Stefan getting all the information pieces together for the racing teams. Stefan is the director of Expedition Africa, and also the owner, and a very interesting race director, and all the stuff that he throws our way with the adventure racing, but that makes it fun. So there's various pieces of information that we get during our race briefing. You'll have a booklet that indicates the various checkpoints that needs to be done, as well as those transitions. And with the race briefing, I'll show you in the video a bit later the typical information that's given through when you then get your booklets and information, and what is given to you as adventure racer in planning your route. The main thing that I need to just show you now, the maps. So what I do with my planning on the adventure racing with map work and navigation, each team gets a topographical map. Sometimes you'll have a additional Google Maps print to indicate a bit more detail. But with our map work and navigation work, on your map you then mark the specific checkpoints, which is given on a master map. I'll show you those master maps just now. And then you mark out the specific checkpoints where you need to get to during your adventure race. And from there you strategize and decide which specific route you'll take. You'll see this map is for instance an A3, sometimes a bit bigger, and you just cut it smaller. But it's then an ideal format you fold in half. It's an A4 that fits on your map board or in your waterproof pocket that you take during your hike. So later on when we do our map work, I'll show you how we mark it out and strategize our route for our navigation with the adventure race. So the master maps has been placed that everybody can mark up their own individual map. So the master map indicates all the transition points. So as an example, you've got a checkpoint and a transition point. And from that you mark out your own individual maps, and then from there plan your course route. 18 minutes into the race, 2 kilometers, 2.2 k's, and here's our map. The north lines up with north, the blue is our actual. We found checkpoint 1 and 2 and 3. We're now heading towards checkpoint 4, which is there by my thumb, which shows us straight on, and our compass shows we're right. We're just on our way to checkpoint number 5, leg 1, the hike, and I'm going to give you an example of recalibrating your map. So what we did is, just behind me, we've just passed over the riverbed. So you'll see north is aligned with north, and then what happened, you can see the blue line versus the orange. We took a shortcut. So here where we passed over the riverbed, we should have been on 4.5 k's, but you can see I've marked it as actual 3.8, which means checkpoint 5, which is straight ahead, a reservoir, we would have made at 6.5 k's. So I've indicated there that we need to watch out at 6 k's to get checkpoint 5, and that's how we recalibrate our map. Easy as pie. So our transition is now done for hiking leg 1. So now we're going on for the cycling. So the transition, the whole hiking leg is done. So now we're going into the cycling. Important to note, I've marked off all the kilometers 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up until transition 2 where we are getting our kayaks. So the whole route is marked out, and then I'll just, as we cycle, indicate the actual kilometers. So we'll see you again at transition point 2. So I saw a cool trick on mapping your distances, which is very nice. So a good way is to mark the distances on a string, and then it's easier to mark your kilometer distances. So the more you get involved with adventure racing, the more you learn. Transition 4 now, and we got our new map, or the last map for the route. So you can see typically there's transition 4, and then we've got all these checkpoints 13, 14, 15, 16. They've indicated that we need to climb over the fence, so that's a bit of a tip. Checkpoint 17, 18 and finish. So from here we need to then establish how we get to these. So typically you've got your legend, so that is road, is the thicker lines, thinner lines is fence or wall. So these are one of the maps that were mapped out. So for the cycling leg, typically take a standard route or road and get that out, and it's about 56 k's. And if that's done, so we're going to try and take a bit of a shortcut here, because we've seen a hiking trail there, and there's a bit of a jeep track. So when we get to that point, we'll then mark it out. So the only difference that I do with our map is then to use the thumb and mark out the kilometers 1, 2, 3, 4 to make that a bit easier.